Welcome to my channel, the Blaugrana Blood. So this is the game review of Chelsea versus Barcelona, match day 4 of the Women's Champions League. So this game was quite entertaining, I should say, quite lively, and it also had it also showed why London is a third world place because they had a little power cut in the middle of a game. So yeah, it was quite a fun game to watch. So let's just get straight into the review. So at first, Chelsea came into this game needing a win to just confirm their place in the top four, but they couldn't get that. We'll talk about that later. So Chelsea came to this game with a lineup of 4-1-4-1, which also became a 3-5-2 in attack. So basically, they had Livia Peng in goal because Hampton was injured, and Lucy Bronze, Natalie Bjorn, Germa, and Baltimore were the back four. So that was a surprise because Chelsea fans thought Millie Bright was undroppable, and Sonia showed big balls in dropping Bright and starting Germa. Like I had, if you had watched my preview with a Chelsea fan and all over the W pod, I asked them about the possibility of Germa starting. They said there's no chance, but I thought she could start because she had played 45 minutes in the previous game. So that is what Pere did with Eva Payor, like gave her some game time so she can get into the rhythm. So I always sensed the possibility of Germa starting, and she started, which Chelsea fans were really surprised. And so that was the back four, and then Kara Walsh was the pivot. So there's a 4-1, and the other four were Carpenter in right winger, which again another a different starter because JRK is the starter for Chelsea in most games, and I don't think have actually started Carpenter at right winger. She's an attacking player; she could play there, just like how what's her name? Esme Broach can play left winger. So she's also an attacker. So just like that, so Carpenter played right winger instead of JRK, and so Captain Cuthbert and Alyssa Thompson at left winger, and Aggie Beaver-Jones as centre forward. Again, I knew Aggie Beaver-Jones can start because like she's a centre forward. Like why wouldn't they start her? And MACARIO has already played against Barca centre forward in the 23-24 season, and didn't really work out. Like she had a shot on target against Catacall, but otherwise not really. So Aggie Beaver-Jones started this game. So the main three changes were Germa, Carpenter, and Aggie Beaver-Jones. So this was the lineup for Chelsea. And Barca, it was the usual. Like just one change from the Clasico. Aitana instead of Vicky Lopez. Otherwise, it's the same lineup. Catacall in goal. You had Ona Battier, Mappy Leon, Irene Paredes, Esme Broats, ELA, Laya Lashant instead of Battery in midfield, and Payor, Pina, and Graham Hansen. So like usual lineup. So the game started well. Chelsea definitely started this with so much more intensity than previous games. They had very good intensity, and they were pressing really, really high in Barca's box. But Barca didn't have problems passing around them. Even if you see in the around 3 minutes time, they were pressing in very, really high. But Barca were able to come out of it, and then they actually had a very good chance. Chelsea press really high into Barca's half, like the right side of Barca, and they just pass it around them, and then CGS gets the ball and she just boots it to Payor, and Payor her first touch betrays her, and it goes to Livia Peng. But Payor 9 times out of 10 she gets the touch right, she scores a goal. So had they scored that goal, what do Chelsea do? Because they already trail, and the PTSD kicks in, and you know what happens. So that see again in this, I've seen this pattern like for the last two games from Pere Romeo against Chelsea particularly, but when this only happens against Chelsea, because why I'm saying is this because Barca, any game you take, whether they're trailing or they're ahead or they are on level, they don't care. They don't care about the opponent. They just go for it. They go for attack, full attack. That's it. They usually spend most of the time in the opponent's box. Whether what will be the score, what will be the opponent. That's how Barca work. That's how Barca play. But in these last two games against Chelsea, that is Chelsea away like last season and this game, Barca play, they tweak the style of play. They don't necessarily go all out attack, at least not always. They actually like to invite pressure and then go mostly on counters. And Barca have gone really great, better at being vertical. Like some of the goals, if this is scored with just one long ball to Payo or two three passes to Payo and she scores. So since they have that ability now, against Chelsea last season in the second leg, and also this season they have played the same kind of football, which I've not seen them play. The closest I can say is again against Chelsea in the 22-23 season, the first leg, which is at the Stamford Bridge. Barca did not get out of second gear for the whole of that game. Like they did not go all out at all because they knew at Camp Nou they can just beat them. So they did not go all out. They were happy with a draw or maybe a win. That's it. They didn't go all out because they knew they can just get the job done in Camp Nou. That's how they started. But the script changed because CJ's got a goal in just 3 minutes. So Chelsea had to, catch up. They had to get the goal. They were being more open, so they had to attack. But Barca always had it under control. Like they were never really in any danger. Although Chelsea played well in that game, they also scored an offside goal. So Chelsea played really well in that game, and Chelsea fans were really happy. It's only 1-0 loss because the PTSD of the Champions League final is still fresh in their minds. So that game I think is the closest I've seen Barca not go all in a game. So after that game, these two games are like the best examples of Barca not necessarily playing at going all out attack. And it kind of makes sense because even in that game, the 22-23 season, it was 0-0 at beginning, and there was also the 90 minutes at home. So it is a sensible approach. I like that because even though Barca have the DNA and they say like this is how we know to play, this is how we're going to play. In tournament football, you have to be practical. You can't just say we're going to play this way no matter what. There's very good chance of you being knocked out because it's tournament football. It's a league format, sure, but it's a tournament football. You have to be practical. So I'm glad that Pere is doing this because it's a practical approach. You don't want to go all in and get caught in the counter attack, which will come to later. Look, Chelsea were good in counter attacks. So this is a pattern I've seen Barca play, but not way too many times, but just a couple times, and it has been mostly against Chelsea, which is interesting. So I just wanted to say that. So even in this game, they opted for the same strategy. And I just want to add one more thing. Even last season, in the second leg, Barca could afford this tactic because they were already 3-0 up. So they didn't have to go all in. It was Chelsea's duty to come and get Barca and see if they can get a goal. And obviously, there's going to open space in behind, and Barca took their chance. I think Barca's tactics were basically you lure Chelsea in, and then they're going to leave space behind, counter, let's score a goal. That's it. It's a very simple plan for Barca, and they executed it to devastating effect. They were 3-0 up in 30 minutes or something. Chelsea had like a couple half chances, and Shokin had a chance, shot on target against Katakol, but otherwise they didn't have much to do. It was kind of dangerous, I'll be honest, but they were able to hold on. They didn't panic. They were fine. But although as Barca fans we watch it like, why are Barca doing this? Why are they not going all out attack? It seems like they're struggling, but not really. Again, they could afford it because they're all 3-0 up. So, and in 23-24 season they did not do that strategy. At the Stamford, the second leg, they were already trailing 1-0. They did not do the strategy. They just went all in. And Chelsea also were so intense in that game. It was a very intense game. Barca went all in because they needed that goal. So they have used this tactic when their scores are level or they are ahead. I don't know about Pere because under Pere we've never trailed Chelsea. Coming to the second leg away from home, that does not happen. So I hope we never trail against Chelsea in any game. So I don't want to see that. But if it does happen, hopefully it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, I'll be interested to see what kind of approach Pere Romeo wants to do. Like my example being, let's say we play Chelsea in this semi-final, and for some reason we are trailing Chelsea, playing at home in the first leg, and then coming to Stamford the second leg. Let's say the score is 2-1 in favor of Chelsea. So Barca to play the same way they've played the last 2 seasons. That is, play a bit conservative, pull Chelsea in and then go for the counter or just go all in. So I'm interested how Pere Romeo approaches this because Under Yona, when we were level in 22-23, we were conservative. We just wanted to counter and see what we can do. But in 23-24, we were trailing and we went all in. And we got the goal. We needed the goal, we got the goal. So in 24-25, we were ahead and then we just went for counters. We got the goals, we destroyed them. So this game again, it was away game, it was 0-0. So Barca opted for this strategy, which I don't have a problem against because it is a sensible approach. You're playing an away game, it's a different game. That too against Chelsea. Even though Stamford Bridge has been very kind to us, still it's sensible to play like this. And Chelsea played well. But again, had Pio taken the chance, I don't think Chelsea could have afforded to do some of the strategies they did in this game, which I will come to later. So Pio misses the chance, and again it goes like an even game. But Chelsea are able to hold their ground, and sometimes even frustrate Barca and Barca's half, cutting off the rhythm. They were able to do that well. And then Chelsea get a chance to counter in around like 12th, 13th minute, but they don't do that. They they circulate the ball and then suddenly it goes to Eli Carpenter and suddenly there's nobody to defend her because Esme Bruce is so high. So Eli Carpenter runs in and she scores a goal. So Chelsea are ahead now. And Chelsea are really happy because so far they have not been bullied by Barca and they're ahead now. And if you have seen the preview which I did in All About the W channel, do check it out. It's a great preview, and we talked about so many things in that game. And even subscribe to the channel because they're amazing people. They cover most of the WSL sides, but especially Spurs and Chelsea because the Spurs and Chelsea fans. So even in the game, I talked about it. Like early goal FC. Like so far, they have scored the first goal in most of the games, and that too, it comes around around 10 minutes. So again, Barca is the 13th minute. So this is a basic trend for Chelsea. They always score early goals. But the worry has always been what do they do after that? So Chelsea scored the first goal and then they are happy, they're relaxed, they don't have to come out of shape. And in this game they also employed this tactic which I've seen them employ against Man City. I was in the league game. It was last season against Man City at home in the league game, wherein they did not press too high. They wanted Man City to come to Chelsea's half and then counter press and first turnovers and then counter, give it to Myra Ramirez and see what happens. That is what the strategy was. And when Alana Kennedy had the ball, they did not bother to even press. And Alana Kennedy did not, because she's not a great passer of the ball anyway, so they did not have a problem. So, but they did not do this when it went to Alex Greenwood, but they did this when it went to Alana Kennedy. And City did not know how to handle that. And they employed the same strategy against Catacol this time. So whenever Catacol had the ball, she was trying to lure Chelsea players in so that she can pass through them and then Barca have more space at the other side. But Chelsea did not do that, which also helped that they were not chasing the game. Again, I would like to see what Chelsea do when they're trailing. Just like I said, what Barca would do when Barca are trailing. I'm also interested in what Chelsea would do if Chelsea were trailing this game. Let's say Pirates scored that goal and they were 1-0 down. Do they still do the same thing? Which I think they would have done. But as time progresses and you're still trailing, I think at some point Chelsea would have cracked and they would have gone in and Barca would have got like more space. So this tactical battle was really interesting. It's just a game of tactics. This game, it's not about physicality there was physicality involved, but it was more of a chess match than anything. And even Lucy Brown said, I was not tired of running. I was just tired of, telling each and every player to stay in the shape and then looking back, looking forward, looking everywhere. I just tired. It was more of a mental stress, mental fatigue than physical fatigue. So they played 90 minutes with just one sub made. So they were not necessarily tired, physically tired, but mentally tired. So that's what Lucy Brown said after the game. So which is understandable. So that I was really interested what would happen, but again, we do not know what would have happened. But it's just an interesting thought experiment. So that happened. So Carpenter scored the goal, and Barca played a bit faster. Again, if you ask me, I would like to see Barca play the same way, like start fast, go for the goal, get the goal, and then dictate play from there. But I can also understand why they play this, but I think it did not work necessarily well, at least in the first half, because Chelsea were really good in the press. They were great even that, but in the last season. But last season, the context is different because they were already 4-1 down. They were trying to, stage a comeback, but then when Aitana scored that goal, it was game over. You could see their heads were down. So the context is different. That's why I even said in my prediction in that preview video that I predicted Barca to lose 1-2 because it's a one-off game. It's a 90-minute game. It's a low-stakes game. Even if Chelsea lose this game, they don't have much to lose. It's not worse than losing a Champions League. Getting knocked out of the Champions League. Like at worst, they will have to play the playoff games and then qualify, which they can do because they have the quality and they also have the squad depth to manage that. So they don't have a problem playing the playoff game and qualifying for the quarterfinals. So that is the worst case scenario. So it's much better than getting knocked out of the Champions League altogether. So that's why I said Barca could lose this game 1-2 because it's a 90-minute game. They just have to give their all, not bother about anything else. Because in a two-leg game, we also have to worry about playing at Barca's home. So if you leave too much space, like trying to attack, going all in, then you leave a lot of space behind and Barca can get. If you leave the first leg 3-0, and especially if you're going to Barca or even if you're coming to Stamford Bridge like last season, they're 4-1 down. It doesn't help you. Like they also have to think about the other 90 minutes there. It's a 180-minute game. They also have to think about the other 90 minutes, home or away. But this game just one single 90-minute game. They just have to worry about this game. That's it. They don't have to worry about anything else. So that's why I said Chelsea could win this game because the stakes are low. It's a 90-minute game, just a league game. Even if you lose, it's not a problem. You can still qualify for the quarterfinals. So that's why I predicted Barca to lose. I'm glad they did not lose. But they could have won, but we could have also won. So that's the thing. So Carpenter gets the goal, and after that, Barca play faster, but not great again. It was not really great. Like we didn't create that many chances. But then we force a corner, and before that goal, Carpenter wasn't really prominent in that game. So she scores that goal again. She's not prominent, but when she got the chance, she took it. That's it. So at least in the first half, I would say. So after that, in 22nd minute, Barca forces a corner and Pina boots it a good in-swinger. Sorry, it's an out-swinger. So it comes in and Chelsea's bane has always been clearances from their own box. Even in 23-24 season, they struggled with this. They were not able to clear the ball from their box. That has been a case even from Emma Hayes. So that is a problem they've still not been able to, overcome. They were never really great at, clearing the balls away from the box. So again, it comes to bite them in the ass this time. So they do not clear it properly. It falls kindly to Payar, and Payar with her weaker left foot scores it. She just fires it home and Barca 1-1. Because this game is really funny because Barca, for all their possession and all the intricate play, the best chances they had when they countered and this was set piece goal. It's a scrappy goal, but we'll take it because why not? When Chelsea played well and Chelsea, like, I wouldn't say necessarily role reversal, but Chelsea, they tried, like, they kind of play like Barca. They like more open play for pinning the opposition in their box and then, trying to get goals. And Barca played in a way like Chelsea, counter-attacking football, being clinical. I won't say Chelsea are clinical, but just say counter-attacking football, scoring scrappy goals, getting such kind. I'm not saying necessarily, but I'm just seeing elements of these things in both teams, which is interesting. At least from Barca's point of view, it just says that Barca are a lot more versatile when we already know them to be. So I like that. So we get the goal back and then, but that does not stop Chelsea. I think it only aggravates them even more. They actually play much better after conceding. It's commendable for them. And I think from around 28, 27 minutes till 33, 34 minutes. I think that spell was by far the best Chelsea, by far the best spell Chelsea have played because Barca had no chance in that. They had wave after wave after wave of attacks and captain even hits the post. And yeah, Barca was struggling. Like they were really struggling. It's a tough watch. But then around 34 minutes, the stream just cuts off. And then it was said that the generator, I think, burst or something, and there was no power contact, which also affected the referee comms and stuff, and the VR did not work. So obviously, you could not go forward with the game without these things. So the game stopped, and then but Chelsea were doing really great. That spell was really great. Again, don't blame us. It's your fucking stadium. It's up to you to make sure that everything is all right, that the current is there. London is supposed to be one of the great best cities in the world, and they can't even guarantee power in that place. Many cities in India are better than this. So yeah, that was funny. Chelsea fans are crying that if not for that power cut bar, Chelsea would have won. I don't care, bro. If my mom had watched, she'd be my dad. If whatever. So that's again not our problem. You did not go and pull the fuse. It's your fucking problem. Take care of your fucking stadium. You have so much money. Invest in your own fucking stadium. But anyway, I digress. So even after that, they started well. I think Alyssa Thompson, like she has a short of target, let's say. So they do well, and at the half ends. So like Barca had chances in the counter. I mean, even CGH, it's a very good through ball to CGH, and she just takes way too much time. Again, CGH has not been a best self ever since 23-24 season. I don't know what happened. Is it just fatigue, or is it something else? Is it a motivation issue? Is it a confidence issue? I don't know. She is not because 23-24 CGH would have just buried it straight away. She gets the ball, she shoots it. That's it. This time she takes way too long to hit, and Gurma does a tackle. So again, we had a chance there. We got through the defense twice. We should have taken our chances, believe it or not. So it ends 1-1. Chelsea also had their chances. The captain won. She should have scored that. So both sides have chances. Both sides did not take it. So the score ends 1-1. And so after that, again, second half starts, and Barca actually better in this because the first half, because Chelsea had made so many tweaks, Carpenter playing at right back, Gurma starting, Aggie with Jones instead of Cat MACARIO, and the whole structure which Chelsea played, they did not allow this structure to be, picked apart by Barca. All that sometimes Barca are able to get behind them easily, but it was rare. So that was commendable from Chelsea, and they refused to be lured in by Barca, especially Catacol. So that was something Barca had to tweak. Barca had to figure out what to do, and they did a good job, I would say, in the second half, especially from 60 to 80. Best spell from Barca. Like Barca completely dominated them, especially in their own half. Chelsea was struggling to get the ball. They all 11 were inside in that box at one point. They just had to boot the ball because of the amount of pressure Barca were generating. And then Irene Paredes goes at the halfway line, got the ball, and she again, sent it to Alexandri, and the attack continued. So best spell for Barca, and Barca were doing really, really good in that spell. Chelsea were not able to come back. So even though Chelsea were pressing really high in their own half, they were trying to force turnovers. Like Barca got around it. They were in their rhythm, and it was even in the comms they were uncomfortable. They did not like to see Barca dominating this. Again, they are English speaking people. They're like Farah Williams, the next Chelsea player. Obviously, she's going to feel sorry for Chelsea if they don't play well. So it's understandable. But it was nice to hear because first half they're so excited. They thought Chelsea good, but second half it was interesting to see them, being worried and uncomfortable. So and then the first sub comes on for Barca. Esme Brooks is gone, and yeah, you could see that because in this game, Barca's left side was shit. Like let's be honest, it was shit. Pena was shit. Alexia was okay at best. She was not at best self because Chelsea just crowded her. Whenever she got the ball, they just crowded her. She couldn't do anything. Even then, she has she was able to progress ball, be press resistant for some time. But whenever 3-4 people got on her, she couldn't do anything. And so Alexia was okay if you want to call it. And then Esme Brushit, even in the goal, they can't see she's way too high, and she does not track back. At one point, she just gives up. In that best spell I said for Chelsea, she just gives up defending. You can't do that in any game, especially against Chelsea, and that's not the standard you set at Barca. You just can't give up playing. But I think the mitigating circumstance that she's not 100% fit. We saw her clutching her knee in the Clasico. I suppose that's the thing. And I also seen a lot of chatter about why Esme started this game. What else do you expect? You do expect 18-year-old Carla Julia, who has played like what one Liga F game, to start this game? Really? You're expecting 18-year-old to do better than Esme Broach? No, you can't expect that. But so Aisha Kamara came in. I was really afraid because Aisha Kamara, she's a newbie. She's 18-year-old. I know her potential, but again, she's just 18 years old, and she's playing again. She's playing in a very tough environment in this game, and Alyssa Thompson is in that rhythm. I was really afraid what Alyssa Thompson would do to Kamara, but Kamara did not have any problem in this game. She was really solid. Like I think in the first 2 minutes she gives up a ball, and that was almost. I think Aggie Beaver Jones were very close to stealing that ball away from Irene, but Irene just clears it. After that, Aisha was solid as fuck, like solid as fuck. She was amazing in that game. I was really, really surprised and impressed to see her actually flourish in that position. Ona Batty went to the left, and yeah, like she was really great. Like in this game, Alyssa Thompson did not have anything to do. Like she was like I mean with respect to goal threat. Alyssa Thompson was really great in that wing, but she couldn't offer anything in threat because because Ona Batty put her in a pocket. Again, she has pocket another pacey winger, Clara Bull, Linda Caicedo, and Alyssa Thompson. So US fans suck on that. So Alyssa Thompson, she was defending. She was also required, and one more thing is that in this game, all the attackers also defended. So Alyssa Thompson on the wing, she had to defend whenever needed because Barca were pinning them in the second half. And Sandy Baltimore, she was she was really prominent in attack, although she couldn't like score. Like she couldn't, she wasn't dangerous, I would say, but she many times I had seen her in the left hand side, bombing into Barca's half. But she also had to defend against CGH. And CGH also had to defend against Sandy Baltimore at times. So again, all the wing backs, full backs, wingers, all of them had to do defensive duties. And Ellie Carpenter also had to do defensive duties. Lucy Bronze had to do defensive duties. Both of them also attacked. And Pina had to do defensive duties. Esme Broach, also had to do defensive duties. But they also attacked. Like it was really interesting to watch. But in this game, Barca's half was shit. Chelsea's half was best. That was the best side. So it was obvious that they scored a goal from that side. But Barca's right side was solid as fuck. CGS, yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, she had she had that shot saved from Germa. And in defense, she was unbelievable. Like even last season, like English pundits said that she cheats. Like she does not like to defend. I don't know. This is the problem. They don't watch the game. They just talk all the shit they want to. CGH was defended this game like with her life. She usually does that. She usually helps in defense. So but in this game it was more prominent. She was really defending with her life. She she did not allow anybody, even Sandy Baltimore, to get through her. Even though she's an attacker, she was really good at defending. And then Aitana was great, at least in defense, but she couldn't offer much in attack. Like Alexia and Aitana were properly neutralized in this game, at least offensively. And Chelsea's midfield did a great job on that. And like Kayla Walsh was always an Aitana. And Ona Bate did an amazing job on Alyssa Thompson. Alyssa Thompson did not have a sniff of Barca's goal. And again, they tried to use Alyssa's space, and Ona Bate is up to it. She's an amazing. She like both again, like Ona's space obviously helps her, and again in this another winger in the pocket. And Aisha Kamara was really good. Aisha Kamara was also incredibly pacey, but I did not expect her to have such a good performance. So I was really impressed with Aisha Kamara. And so that was there. And then Chelsea make this sub at 72nd minute. Catmac comes in for Aggie Beaver Jones. So and then they have a free kick at that point. And then they were just saying again. So whenever Catmac plays against Barca, they have this one line. Catmac scored against Barca in the 2022 final. It was 4 years ago. 4 fucking years ago. She actually, like, it's unbelievable. And then, so Barca actually beat Lyon. I don't know, I think selective amnesia. I would like to say this. Barca beat Lyon in the Champions League final in 2024, and Sonia Bompastor was the manager. Okay? 2022, we lost. After that, we won in 2024, which is the most recent game we have played. But they just don't talk about it. Whenever Cat comes, she's got that one goal in the final. After that, she's done shit. She's done shit. She has played, I don't know, like 180, 270 minutes against Barca. She's done nothing but shit. Okay? Uh, Deal with it. Even last season she came. But yes, she did create that goal which Sandy Baltimore scored. That I agree. But other than that, she has not scored. She has not done anything. In the second leg, she did shit. She did shit. And in 23-24 season, played a center forward in that game, and she did shit. She didn't do anything. So just for inference, she's played way too many minutes after that 2022 game, which is like 4 years ago, where she has done shit. Okay, but she scores that goal, and then they're all happy, but against offside, and the image clearly shows that she's offside. Her shoulder is offside. Like even Kai in the All About W live stream, she said that she's offside. Like she did not throw any hissy fit. She knew it's offside. That's a sane Chelsea fan. But there's so many insane Chelsea fans who say that it's not offside. That's a robbery. How is that offside? Barcelona again playing the referees, bro. If we had the money to pay referees, we would have not let people to get out of the team. Like it can't be both. Either Barca are broke, lol, or Barca have money and they are able to pay referees. It can't be both. Barca can't be broke and also pay referees. That's to be the one. If you're bantering, like choose wisely. So it's offside. That's it. Her shoulder is over the leg of Alexandri. It's offside. There's no controversy. It is close. It is annoying. I understand. Even if it's Barca's goal which is disallowed, it's annoying. But that's the fact. It's offside. She's offside. It's a close decision. But I'm really amazed how this referee, she just called on the spot it's offside. And it's unbelievable. Like, can't we have such referees in Liga F? Because in Liga F, you have the referees seeing the replay on the monitor, and you can clearly see it's not offside, and they give it offside. The fuckers give it offside. Liga F has the worst referees. And in Champions League, they even before the VAR says it's offside, they call it offside. Unbelievable. That woman was amazing. I don't know. I do not know her name. Comment below if you know her name. Amazing. Shout out to that referee. So it's offside. And then the game just, it's end to end. Both sides tried to score goals. They did not score goals. And then, what is her name? Ellie Carpenter has a good chance to score, but she does not score. But Chelsea fans, that should have been buried. That's a sitter. No, that's not a sitter. It's not easy to score a goal from that angle. That too when Katago was properly positioned. She did not, like, it's not easy to score. I've even seen CGH miss from such spots. It's not easy to score. But they called very easy chance. It's a good chance, I agree. It's not an easy chance. So again, she has a chance, she does not score. And Barca also make a sub, like CGH scores off for Vicky Lopez in 77 minutes, something like that. And then, who else? Yeah, Barca, like Pere also makes subs for Sydney Shertler at Keegan as well. So again, there's a chatter that Aitana, why you played Aitana the whole 90 minutes, she was not 100% fit. I think she was 100% fit. But I can understand that perspective why Aitana had to play the whole 90. Maybe sub her off at 75. But then I can understand what Pere, because the game was on a knife edge. And let's say he subbed off Sydney and like he subbed off White and brought on Sydney and Kika at that time, like 75. And Barca conceded a goal. What would he say? Why did you sub off Aitana? Like, that's the thing. If he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Like if you really want, like I can understand, but that's the truth. Like, it's not easy to make decisions when the game is on a knife edge. You don't want to lose that game. You want the points. Even if it's 1 point, you want that. And there's also the whole morale and the narrative thing. So I can understand why he made the sub. But he at least made the fucking sub. You know what Sonia Bompas said? She made one fucking sub. She did not make any sub. For all the players Chelsea have, for Chelsea's greatest strength is a squad depth. They do not use anybody. They made one sub for the whole 90 minutes. So what about that? So you could see how the game went on. It was a knife edge. It was a very close game. And Bompas was afraid that if she makes any change and that completely disturbs the Chelsea structure and Barca score. So obviously Pere also thinks the same thing. But he at least had the balls to bring on substitutes who are like 18 and 23 years old. This Sonia Bompas had experienced players on the bench and she did not make any fucking sub. So you have to understand the perspective. You have to understand the situation in place. So like I don't know, so Chelsea basically did Liverpool. Before this game, they played Liverpool in WSL, and Liverpool did not make a single sub in that game. The whole 90 minutes they played without a sub, and they got a 1-1 draw at their home. And Chelsea did the same thing. They got a 1-1 draw. They made one sub. You could, because they knew that if they made any changes, because Chelsea's biggest asset was the structure. If the structure was destroyed, they're fucked, because Barca would just score so many goals for fun. So she was afraid. You could see she was afraid to make changes. So you have to understand that this game is not easy, and it's not a regression. Barca only got away with a 1-1 draw because Chelsea said, because last season Sonia fucked around and found out. She thought she could just high press and she could just get the win. Barca nothing, and she found out the hard way. She was humiliated 8-2. So this time she ate the humble pie and she set up defensively. They actually played like the underdog, like Liverpool is the underdog in the league game. Chelsea is the underdog because they are. We have played them 7 fucking times. We have lost once. I think we have won 4 or 5 times, and this is the first draw now. It's not a rivalry anymore. They want to call rivalry. It's not a rivalry. We are so much better than them. They know that. Even Chelsea fans know that. Even before this game, even when all the Chelsea official account made all the hype video stuff. They like, please don't do this shit. I don't want to get humiliated. Just don't do this shit. Chelsea fans know by now who is the better team, who's the superior team. So yeah, like they did what they had to do to not lose to Barca because they have had been humiliated so many times now. At least the draw feels like a win to them. That is the stage. That is the reality. They're so dominant in their league, but who cares? It's a farmers league. They win it anytime. Like they can win it with the second squad. Nobody cares. So like, this was the best chance to beat Barca. It's a one-off game. It's at home. We do not have Patri. We do not have Salma. Yeah, we will miss Salma because even if she does not score goals, she will stretch the defense out. And I'm very sure Lucy Bronze would have a very much difficult time had Salma played this game and had Pina come off from the bench then because Bronze would have been tired. Ellie Carpenter would have been pinned back much more than when Pina played in that game. And we obviously missed Patrick. But again, for I thought Alessandri was going to struggle, but she actually had the best game. She was by far one of the best players for Barca. She was amazing in attack and defense, especially in defense. Like she was just she was just stealing balls from all over the place. Like she did not allow anybody to attack centrally. She had one of the best games. I'm really surprised. Alessandri at CDM was the least of her worries. And Mapillion was shit in this game. Like so many scuffed clearances. I don't know what was wrong with her. Maybe the booze also affected. I do not know. She had a shit game. The left side was totally shit. Par had a good game. And Aisha Kamara had an amazing game. Ona Batty had an amazing game. So there were plus and negatives, positives and negatives. So that is how it went, and then the game ended. And even in the last, after that, Barca had possession until 90, and after that, Chelsea had the possession, but they couldn't do anything. Again, whenever Chelsea fans do well against Barca, they say that Barca had the possession, but we did not allow them to have possession in the dangerous areas. We held them far away from the box. They can have all the possession they want, but we held them far away from the box. And Barca did the same thing. Chelsea got throw-ins after throw-ins after throw-ins, but they could not get the ball inside Barca's penalty box. It was just towards the sideline. That's it. That's all. For all 180 seconds, their ball was just in that. They could not get the ball through to get a call. They couldn't do anything. Like Barca, it was a proper defensive performance from Barca. Again, very logical thing to do, very practical thing to do, which is necessary in knockout football. So I'm glad we did that, and it ended 1-1. And Chelsea fans' moral victory, a draw feels like a win, and for them they were by far the better team. But if you look at the facts, it's not. Both sides are 3 shots on target, and the XG for Chelsea is 0.99, for Barca is 0.91. That's it. 0.93, 0.9 something like that, but 0.9. That's it. Both sides had 0.9 XG. Both sides got 1 goal each. That's it. That's it. It's an even game. I can concede that. It's an even game. This is Chelsea's second best performance against Barca. The first best, obviously, Emma Hayes 1-0 away victory. So many Chelsea fans saying this is the best performance ever. Like, really? You guys drew. You guys beat Barca at Barca, restricting Barca to one shot at target. That is by far your best performance ever. That is your Champions League trophy. And this is second best performance. And the third best performance was the second leg in the 23-24 season. They played really well, but they lost. So that's why it's third best. So this is second best. The first best is win, second best is draw, and third best is the loss. So yeah, this is the second best performance. Barca were not, they were not even close to being their best performance. So that is the thing. Even when we basically did a Chelsea on Chelsea. Like Chelsea, they always do this in the league. They do not play well, but they get away with a 1-0 win or a 1-1 draw. And then the pundits say, this is champion mentality. This is what Chelsea mentality monsters. Because even if they do not play well, which is for most times, they get away with it. They get the job done. Barca did the same thing. We did not play well. We got away with the draw. But now Chelsea fans and all the English pundits, Chelsea played really well, you know. They showed Barca they can fight on level terms. Okay. Okay. Let's see what you do in a high-stakes semi-final, which I'm sure will happen, which I'm sure Barca will face. Let's see what it does. And one more thing. I was afraid, like not afraid, but one thought which went through my mind was that what if Barca destroy Chelsea 4-0 or 3-0 in this game, and then Chelsea, figure out a different strategy for the semi-finals, and they actually play well. That was something I was worried about. But in this game, actually, Chelsea showed so many of trump cards for Barca to figure out now. Because look at this, Barca played the usual game, no more changes, not really to change. And they're not of Patry and Salma, so that will be surprise options whenever we meet them in the later. Hopefully, like the whole squad is fit. Let's say that. Hopefully, the whole squad is fit. Salma offers a different dimension, and Patry is obviously better than Alessandri. So Barca can get better than this, and Chelsea already put on their best performance. Sure, they have Myra Ramirez and Sam Kerr, but they have done nothing. Last season, Ramirez was bullied off a Mappy Leon, who is half her size. She was bullied by Mappy Leon last time. 180 minutes she played, absolute shit. Sam Kerr, you know what Sam Kerr's record is against Barca. So, sure, bring them on. Let's see what happens. That was peak Sam Kerr against Barcelona. She couldn't do shit. This Sam Kerr, who's a mom now, she's past her prime. She's coming off an ACL injury. Sure, she can score a hat-trick against us. Sure, we'll see. And they already showed a trump card in Ellie Carpenter. So that was a surprise, Ellie Carpenter, not gonna lie. So now Barca know how to, I'm sure when they meet them again, they know how to nullify Ellie Carpenter. And then there's also this tactic of the defensive structure, like not pressing too high. So that also Pere Romeo said, which is new, and we're gonna look for ways to counter that. So actually Chelsea showed more ways for Barca, like Chelsea showed more cards to Barca than Barca actually did. So I like that because it gives more info for Barca to play against Chelsea. What do Chelsea have? They know that Patry will play. They know Salma could play. That's all they know. That's it. Otherwise, Barca how Barca plays. So Chelsea peaked, I think, way too early, and they have actually shown more to Barca than actually Barca have shown to Chelsea. So now Barca will have a much better understanding of playing against Chelsea. And this is a very difficult side to beat now, if they play like this. So we have more info. So next time we play Chelsea, Barca will play much better. And it's going to be a high-stakes game. And let's see, and Chelsea's mentality has not been great in these high-stakes games. They've always choked. And Barca always have the champion mentality. They do that. So, yeah, sure. I'm happy, really. Like, 1-1 draw, I'm not even like worried, or I'm not even... I'm sad that we didn't batter them, but in the bigger picture, we are top of the Champions League table, unbeaten, and we are close to top 4. Just one more game, I think we'll qualify. Like we'll qualify for the quarterfinals, or we can get the 2 wins anyway. Paris FC will be tricky, but I think we can get the 3 points. But Chelsea needed this win much more than Barca because they're in 6th place now. It's not a given that Chelsea win top 4 because Bayern and Wolfsburg are there. Real Madrid have a long shot. Arsenal maybe. So it's not a given that Chelsea will be in the top four. So they need that win, and there's also this win is also needed for a morale boost to break that mental block. But they did not did it. They did not do it. They're still in sixth place. They did not get the win over Barca, but they're celebrating like it's the greatest thing ever. Like if you really thought this is what is going to break a mental block, you're delusional. Because why? You guys beat Barca away from home in 23-24 season and you still lost. If that did not clear your mental block, nothing ever will. That's the truth. So whatever, man. Like Chelsea fans are happy with draw. They think it's a win. It's a win in their books. For me, like I'll take this draw. I don't really mind because we can beat Benfica at home and Paris FC. Even let's say even if it's draw, how many points will that be? 13, 14 points. At worst, we'll be fourth place in the table. I don't have a problem with that. I just want Barca not to play any more extra games. We already play 8 extra games in the league compared to other teams around the other leagues in Europe. So I don't mind. Even if we get fourth place, I don't have a problem. So all in all, long term, short term, Barca are fine with this draw. We learned a lot more from Chelsea than they could from us. We got the point. We're unbeaten. We're top of the league. So yeah, we're fine, man. We're really fine. And the next game was the last league game was against. So after this Chelsea game, it was against Levante UD. Just want to give a small review. Like most of the first teamers did not start this game. Alexia, Alaya, and Aitana did not start this game at all. The midfield was basically Kika, Vicky, and Sydney. So that was Kika, Selajordi, and Sydney. Sydney had a shit game, not gonna lie. Selajordi had a decent game. Kika had a very good game. Against Levante, I don't know what, like she's really great. And she again scored against Levante. Even last season, she scored against Levante. Payal had a good game. Like, I don't know, like, we got to, like, again, Pina missed that penalty. Like, when will you guys learn? You guys literally lost a Euro final because of shit penalties. When will you guys fucking learn? Again, she did get the goal. She did score the penalty. But why would you miss it? You have to score it in the first instance. Like, Levante was so shit in their own box. Like, they didn't give a fuck about conceding penalties. I don't know why. They considered 3 penalties in this game. So, yeah, that was it. And Vicky Lopez had a decent game. Defense was decent. Aisha Kamar was amazing. Her pace, man. Like, she's so fast. Like, again, she could be a person. She could give Ona Batty a good run for money. Like, no pun intended. Run for her money. With respect to recovery pace, like she's amazing. I'm being more and more impressed about this kid. She's amazing, and I almost don't miss Yana Fernandez, to be honest. And I can see why Barca won't tie her down with a professional contract. This girl does not even have professional contract. How crazy is that? So yeah, Aisha was amazing in this game, and Aitan Alexia came on in 70th minute. So good squad rotation. The youngsters got a chance, and Alexia got a penalty. So Alexia at least knows a shit. She at least knows. I hope from now on she won't score penalty goals. But so far she's done well. After the Euro final, one she did the Panenka didn't work out. But after that, no nonsense penalties. The goalkeeper didn't even figure out the right direction, but she couldn't save because it was just towards the post. No nonsense penalty, proper penalty. So at least I have some faith on Alexia. But I think the Spanish players have to work on their penalties. They're so much better in every other aspect. When it comes to penalties, they're not that great. That is why I miss Rolfa. Rolfa's cold-hearted. She scores penalties just like in any high-pressure situation. Like, imagine losing that, not scoring that penalty 23-24 semi-final against Chelsea. I won't say we won't win, but why to even give them the hope? Kill them. When you have the chance, kill it. Just fucking kill them. So yeah, I mean the Levante game was an easy one. We won that good squad rotation. So after this club-wise, a very good November, I would say. We started off with the loss against Sociedad, but after that, all of the games have done really, really well. The 2 toughest games, back-to-back, El Clasico and Chelsea, unbeaten, 4 points out of 6. And Juven game was also a tough game. We won that game. Good GD, +3. So all in all, November has been very good for Barca. Top of the league, top of the Champions League. Good stuff for us. And what else? Yeah, so now, to make, if this number can be much better if Spain beat Germany in the Nations League final, which I will preview most probably, and it's a 2-legged final. That's interesting. Hopefully that favors Spain because second leg is at home. Not because second leg is home, because over 180 minutes Spain usually get the shit together. So if it's a one-off game in 2025, we don't know what the fuck can happen, and they don't have a great record against Germany anyway. So hopefully this two leg favors Spain more than Germany. But although I worry about player welfare over because they play another extra 90 minutes. So that is a concern, but let's see what happens. So yeah, if they win the Nations League also, this number is one of the best numbers for Barca. Hopefully Spain beat Germany. So yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching. This has been the review of the Chelsea versus Barcelona. There's a lot to unpack in this game. It was an even game and we came with a draw. Not the worst result in the world. So we move on. So yeah, this is it. So thank you for watching. Comment your thoughts below. What do you think of this game? I'm sure there's so many things I've missed. So please comment that. So like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you for watching. Let's go Barca.